UV printing, this morning, for those of you guys that caught this morning's presentation, I started by saying that there's 4 major textile chemistries that we can inkjet print to work with textiles, and they're all multi-step processes, which is mostly true, but not 100% true. UV curable printing, and some of you guys got a chance to see that downstairs, using a UV light to cure the ink as it's being printed from a liquid to a solid, is actually capable of printing on certain types of fabrics that can really kind of dovetail into the traditional textile printing. And where we see them most is in these types of industries. Absolutely, you know, you're going to see them in places that you're not really wearing clothes or sitting on fabric. You know, when you're not really touching it, that's a better place for UV printed goods. And so you see that in the sign market for sure, and then beyond. Another nice thing about UV printing is that it kind of opens the door to a variety of other applications, all with one machine that you now have unlocked. And that includes the commercial printing market. Packaging is a big one. UV has, unlike textile ink chemistries, there's a clear varnish, there's a white ink, and we're going to talk more about those things. And it adds to the capabilities for certain applications like packaging and the construction market. Really, the one that I want to point out is the wall covering. That's what really kind of fits into textile printing, because people, especially in the decor market, you know, you're dealing with walls, windows, and floors all the time. And so UV, you know, is a great way to get in the wall covering, to print on wallpapers, vinyl wall covering material, polyurethane material. It's very, very widespread. And again, all one-step print and cure right at the same time. And then the soft signage and label market. So UV is very, very diverse, and you can see where it overlaps with the textile market, and you're going to mainly focus on areas that you're not touching the fabric so much, like these signs that could be UV printed, and you're not going to worry about exactly how it feels. It's going to look the same as if it were dye sublimated. So same thing, you know, when it comes down, you know, we just looked at the applications. When you look at the substrates, the reason it's so diverse with the applications is because it's really so diverse with the substrates that it will properly adhere to. And again, given the white ink available and the clear glossing, really opens the door to print on clear materials, print on dark materials. It's probably of all the ink chemistries out there at the widest swath of available substrates that one ink could print on. And so there you're seeing, you know, everything from vinyl, PVC, polyester, well, you know, just the list goes on and on of the different types of media that you can print on.
This one's for me. So, like Mike said, it crosses over into fabric a little bit, especially as of late. People that currently use UV printers for their signage applications and some of the other applications that Mike talked about, they're wanting to print fabric with their UV printer. And so we, you know, took that as a sign as maybe we should start testing more of our fabrics with UV printers, and we got the Mimaki UV, and so now we're able to test our fabrics and see if they work. So some of the common applications for fabric with UV would be, like Mike said, stuff, you know, wearing it, you know, we're not going to do apparel fabrics with UV, but, you know, tents or wall coverings. Very popular one with UV is SEG, backlit SEGs. We sell a specific fabric, so this was printed on a fabric that we have, and you can see the print quality is good. You can kind of pass this back if you want, and you know, it looks good. It looks good backlit. You know, UV lends itself pretty good to doing that. So you can double layer it with UV ink, and then you'll have it won't look washed out when you light it up. So that's a very good benefit. And then there's flooring that can only be printed UV or solvent. So that's another good application for that. Yeah, flooring is very good. So that's that picture on the left there. It was a printed landscape, which is kind of cool. We sell that as well, flooring. and canvas. We have a whole line of canvas products for fine art, and/or wall covering, like Mike said. People are doing murals with that.
All right, so I guess I'm up. All right, so I think I've met everybody here. I'm Nancy Clark with Mimaki. I'm the Southeast Channel Sales Specialist. I'm going to talk about the UJV 100-160. It's our entry-level roll-to-roll UV printer. So this model is 64-inch. It's print only, so it does not contour cut, but that would not really be needed in the textile market. You go ahead and go to the next slide.
Oh,
that's fine.
there you go.
That's good. Okay, so it's priced very competitively. The list price on this printer is $16,995. So nice entry level price to get into this market. Has a very low running cost. You can use a regular wall outlet, a 110. Doesn't require any special electricity. It's not going to put out a lot of heat. So it's going to have low running costs. The ink is going to be about $150 a liter, so you're going to be at about 15 cents a square foot on your printing cost, and it's also going to use less ink. So when you're laying down UV ink, you're laying down less ink than you would if you were printing with eco solvent or latex. So you're also, not only is the ink going to be a lower price, but you're going to use less of it. Very reliable, very low cost. As Mike had mentioned, you can print on a variety of media, then eco-solvent, latex, any of those other types of inks. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. All right, so it's 64-inch. It also has a new Mimaki core technology called our DAS, dot alignment system. A little bit later, I'm going to go over the Mimaki core technologies, but this particular one, it's going to calibrate the dots for you automatically. You can turn that feature on or off, but that is a new core technology that we did add. It has two print heads, two staggered print heads, that is. The ink droplet size is 4 picoliter. You're going to be able to print at up to 238 square feet per hour on this printer. We only have one ink set for this particular model. It's the LUS 170 ink. You do have a choice of adding white ink or clear ink. I know that clear may not be as something that some people printing textile would use. However, with the case of wall coverings, the clear ink could be used for having nice cool textures and embossing. And we do have a built-in library of textures, 129 textures. You can make your own texture also, but I'm going to pass this around. So all of our UV printers except our largest one has this clear ability. Let's see, where am I? Okay. It does have variable dot technology. I'll go over that a little bit later in the maps and the circulation technology. Yeah, let's go ahead and advance, Rob, because I'm going to talk about some of that later. Okay, so our UV printers have an LED bulb, so you're going to have instant curing as it lays down the ink. The lights are going to cure it instantly, but since it's an LED bulb, it's not using any heat. That's part of the reason why we're getting more substrate choices, is because the heat in some of the other methods are going to potentially melt or shrink or cause issues with other substrates. So the LED bulbs do not put down any heat. It does come out completely dry, so if you were in the sign industry and you needed to laminate something, you can laminate immediately. You don't have to wait for, in the case of eco-solvent, it has to outgas for 12 to 24 hours, and you'd have to wait to laminate until it outgassed. Not an issue with UV printing. So it is cured instantly. It can be laminated immediately. Because of this, your production time is going to be about 90% less compared to solvent printing, because you don't have to wait to do your post-processing. Okay. All right, so kind of going along with the whole thing with the UV LED, since we don't use heat, it's going to leave the media intact. You're not going to get shrinkage. In the case of these two pictures, The one on the right was printed with latex. And there's two problems that come up with that. One is going to be color consistency across the whole roll, but also having shrinkage. So when you go to line it up, you're going to have it potentially not line up correctly because of it, whereas on our UJV 100, you're not going to have any difference in the media stability, so you should be able to line up your graphics without any problem. And it's just an example of soft signage that you can do. Go ahead. And this is a wall covering that was done. And some backlits. All right, so the LUS 170 ink, it's very stretchable. It's flexible and it's stretchable up to 170% on cast vinyl media. It's easy to apply, easy to remove. It's scratch resistant, weather resistant. Great for flat and curved surfaces. We actually have people who do vehicle graphics with this ink, so you can stretch and go around curves. We have another ink set that's even more stretchable than this, but this can be done for vehicle graphics. And it always comes in the 1 liter bottles. So the printer does come standard with the bulking system with the 1 liter bottles. You have a choice of doing dual CMYK, which is going to give you your fastest print speed, or you can do 5 color or 6 color. So you can do CMYK in white or CMYK clear and white. Another significant thing about this model printer, it can do 2 layers. So you can use white as the underlay or white as the top layer or spot color. You do have to choose that when you buy the printer. You have to let them know at the time of installation if you want to have an underlay white ink or a top coat white ink.
That would basically matter whether you're going to print on dark materials or clear materials, which order you print them. Clear, you would print potentially color first, white on top, because you would view it from the other side of the clear, right? Dark materials, color first, then white on top.
Wait, say that again? I didn't know. You can't print, it's one or the other?
Yeah, it's not like a flatbed where you can just go the other way.
Oh, so there's no reverse print, you can't do on the base white and then say, no, now I want to do reverse on clear?
Right.
I didn't know that.
On this model.
Okay.
On the UCJV 300 I'll talk about in a minute, you can,
Okay.
but on
I
this
didn't know
one,
that, good to know.
Okay. Our inks are Green Guard Gold certified for indoor air quality. It can be used in environments such as schools and healthcare facilities. The RIP software does come standard with the printer. Ours is Rasterlink and it is standard included in your price. Most of our printers are still on Rasterlink 6 Plus. However, this model is now being released with Rasterlink 7. Okay. So I was mentioning that we have Mimaki core technology. So this is part of what sets us apart from other printers in the industry. We have waveform control, which is going to release a nice rounded dot, and they've used algorithms and using just the precise amount of ink to make sure that when it drops, it stays as a round dot and it doesn't distort. So you're going to have much better image quality with our waveform control. With the variable dot technology, you've got multiple size dots, so you can lay exactly the right size dot and have them butt up against each other. You don't have to overlap dots. But with the variable dot, you're going to get much higher quality. You can get fine line detail. You can get museum quality printing. So you do need variable dot to accomplish that, and we can do that with our printer. The Mimaki Advanced Pass System is going to prevent that banding look. So this is one of my favorite features about our printers, the nozzle check unit. There's an infrared light that's going to detect if there's a drop nozzle. If it detects a drop nozzle, it's going to automatically go into the nozzle recovery system. So it's going to clean it, put it through a cleaning cycle. If the cleaning cycle doesn't resolve the problem, then it's going to substitute another nozzle for the one that's clogged. So you're going to get continuous printing. You're not going to have to worry about having a stop in your production. And then the dot alignment system, that is the new feature I told you we just added, a new core technology for doing your calibration. And our white ink, we have Mimaki circulation technology, so you're not going to get sediment in the white ink. We even have circulation happening at the level of the sub-tank, so it's definitely going to save you money on ink and keep your ink maintenance. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. So your print heads are going to last longer. Okay. All right. So some benefits. So you're going to get great productivity out of this printer at 238 square feet per hour. We do have advanced technology, wide application range, and a low investment with a high return of investment. So your low ink cost, I mentioned that 15 cents a square foot. Indoor applications, outdoor applications, wallpaper, the variable dot technology, giving you the high quality. All those core technologies we already discussed. And then the UV LED lights for getting instant cure and doing it without heat. So you're definitely opening up more substrate choices. Another thing about UV curing, some of the printers on the market use mercury vapor bulbs. They do put out heat. So you will have some substrate issues, and you're also going to be replacing your bulbs more often, and they're expensive.
And it
The
uses more electricity, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not instant on off, so you have to wait around.
Oh, that's right.
Up.
Yep. Yeah, they have to heat up and.
My favorite
Yeah.
is when you get distracted and you come back to it, you actually have to wait for it to cool down because it started the process to cool down, and then you gotta then wait for it to heat back up. You're like, so I don't miss those.
And also,
LED is nice.
and sometimes, I'm really glad you brought this up, because sometimes people aren't getting curing and they don't know why. Turns out that their bulbs are starting to lose life and they don't realize it. So they've got some jobs that potentially went out that weren't fully cured. Okay. All right, so as I mentioned, this is our entry-level UV LED printer, and it was brought on to replace the next one that you see there, the UCJV 150. So we no longer have that one, but we do have the UCJV 300, which is going to be a step up. That particular model, first off, does come in some additional sizes. You can get it in 43-inch, 54-inch, and 64-inch. It has built-in contour cutting. You know, some people are doing textile printing and doing signage, labels, stickers. So if you are in the market for more things, this contour cutting could be a good feature for you. But the biggest thing about that printer, to me, well, first off, it can do everything the UJV 100 can do. So everything I've already told you we can do it there too. But what's different about it, the contour cutting, but most specifically, the ability to do 3, 4, and 5 layer printing. So with 3-layer printing, you're going to get a better backlit image than you would if you were just doing 1 layer or 2 layer. You can do backlits with 1 or 2 layer, but when the light's off, the image is going to be darker. When the light's on, the image might be washed out. 3 layers resolves that problem. So this printer can do the 3-layer. That's where it's going to come into effect. And then the 4-layer would be doing a transitional backlit. So I'll pass this one around, but when you have 4 layers, you can have something come through when the light shines on the back that wasn't there before. So pass it around, hold it up to the light, and you'll see a day and night image on this, called a transitional backlit. And then 5 layers will get you a double-sided window graphic. So this particular image was created doing color, white, black, white, color. So you do your color image in reverse, then a white layer, then a blockout layer, which will be like a grayish black, then white, and then printing the last graphic correctly. So when you have it on a glass window, you're seeing 2 completely different images, but it was all printed on one side with 5 layers done in one feed. So there's not going to be a registration issue. It's not like you're going to print and have to reverse and print again, you know, multiple times, because then you would have registration issues. This These 5 layers were done in 1 feet. Obviously it does the clear ink like the other one did. So, you know, if you're getting into doing textiles and other avenues, you can get into some more high-end graphics with this printer. And then the UJV55, that's gonna be our 3.2 meter machine. That one can only do 3 layers. That one does not have clear ink. But you can do 2 banners side by side, 2 60-inch banners side by side, and they can be 2 completely different banners. They don't have to be the same image. But more so for, you know, just having the larger capacity on that one. Yeah, same thing. This just summarizes what I've already said, you guys.
They just want to show the cool animation.
Yeah. So we do have demo centers in multiple places in the country. Our corporate headquarters is in Atlanta. It's actually Swanee to be specific. Love to have you come in for a demo, see some more of our equipment. Just give us a call.
Kind
We'll
of
set
have a
that up
demo
for you.
center in Charlotte now.
That's right.
Oh.
Just about. We're working on that. We have at least 1 printer here.
Yep.
Okay, so
That's it.
yep, and that's all of our contact information. If you guys want to.
And this will all be available online on our website, Mimaki's website, and you can just download the presentations there as well if you want to.
Okay. Great, thanks, guys.
Yep.